Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. Today I'm going to be looking at the Grassy Grove bundle. This is the stamp set and these are the dies. The stamp set and bundle are on page 84 of the May 2022 to April 2023 annual catalogue. It was in the mini in January to June, but it's carried over to the annual catalogue. These dies will fit the stamped images. It cuts out the outline of this stamped image and some extra ones. It will cut out these trees, this meadow-like bit here, and then there's a couple of extra leaves. I didn't get this stamp set in the mini because I wasn't sure whether it was going to carry over to the annual catalogue, but now that it has and it's got a longer shelf life, I did purchase it and earned the stylish sketches from the celebration brochure. So for every £45 you spend, you can earn something free. And this is the stamp set on page 9 of the celebration brochure. So we're going to be making this shadow box card, and it will fit into an ordinary C6 envelope. The inks I'm using are Evening Evergreen, Cajun Craze and Balmy Blue. You'll also need some blending brushes. I'm using the largest of the Grassy Grove dies to cut out the aperture for the front of the card. Let's run through the cardstock you'll need to create the scene at the front and back of your card. This is the reverse, so I've stamped on the reverse, and that is creating the scene at the back. So these two pieces of cardstock are basic white, and they both measure 5 1/4 by 4 1/8 in metric. That's 13 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters. To create the shadow box, you need 2 pieces of Evening Evergreen. Both have been cut at 4 1/4 by 6 3/4 inches, and in metric that's 11 centimeters by 17 centimeters. On the shadow box pieces, you need to score at 3/8 inch and then at 3/4 inches. Rotate the cardstock 180 degrees and repeat. 3/8 inches and 3/4 inches, and you do that for both pieces. Then you have a middle piece, which is a bridging piece, and you need one piece cut at 1 1/2 inches by 6 inches. In metric that will be 4 centimeters by 15.2 centimeters, and again you score each end at 3/8 inches or 1 centimeter. Then to sandwich the fox, there's a piece at the back, so you put the fox in here and then you put this piece on the back, and this measures 4 centimeters or 1 1/2 inches by 5 1/4 inches, so that's 14 centimeters by 13 centimeters. And you need some scrap so you can stamp and die cut your sentiment, the leaf and berries and the fox. You'll also need the Stylish Shapes dies, and I think I used this die here to cut my label. Now I'm going to stamp the hillock first in Evening Evergreen, but then at the same time I want to stamp off, I want the foreground of this to be in a lighter colour. So I'll just blot that ink off and stamp right across the cardstock. Then I'm going to stamp this round about there. Then I'll stamp this at full strength round the bottom. and stagger it. Next I'm changing ink pads to Cajun Craze, and then use a blending brush to lightly go over the sky. So I've turned my paper upside down so that I won't end up with blue greenery. Before you adhere the scene to the back of your shadow box, burnish the score lines. This first score line here is a mountain fold, and then you turn the outer one back for a valley fold. And do the same here. This second score line is a mountain fold, and then the outer one is a valley fold. Okay, run some adhesive on the back, adhere it to the card, leaving an even border all round. Next we want to do the scene at the back. First stamp this grassy verge, and if you've got gaps there and you don't want the gaps to show, then turn the stamp upside down and fill in. Now you can stamp the trees. I've obviously smudged that, so I want to make sure I cover that up. Now I can adhere this to the back. Stamp the fox. Then use the blending brush to colour the fox in. Now this is the fox's breast, and you don't want that to have Cajun Craze on it. So I'm just going to put my thumb there and randomly colour the rest of the fox in. Now I'm going to fussy cut the fox. Set that aside, and then stamp this in Evening Evergreen and fussy cut that too. I'll have to speed this up as well. Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and I'm using this one. Now I want to tie a bow on this element here, so I'll fold it in half to find the middle, then make a loop, sort of half prepare a knot. Then I'm going to loop it onto the stem like so. Grab a glue dot to keep that in place so it won't slip off, and fold it back so it doesn't show. Okay, better bring my silicone mat in, then I can tie a bow. And trim it off, it's far too long. Now I want to take these two pieces, which is the bridging piece here, and place the shorter piece on top of the longer piece, and I'm going to cut a hillock. Okay, so you want to cut them both at the same time so they mirror each other. Taper it off. Alright. Bring in your fox and you put a blue dot on his paws, the bottom of his paws on the front. And this bends back. You're going to put tear and tape on the sides in a minute, but I just want to position him to see where he's going to go. There. I can glue that together. So I want to put tear and tape on these two end bits here. Remove the backing tape from these two end bits. Bend it over, and basically you want to put it on the bottom inside this fold. Okay. Bend that back. You want that to go on the bottom here, flush with the baseline. There we go. Then tear and tape on the ends here. This is the front of Shadow Box, and we need to die cut an aperture. So say it's about 1 centimeter or half an inch. We'll run that through the die cutting machine on my standard sandwich. Platform 1, the thin die adapter. Platform 2, the cardstock, followed by your die cutting edge face down, and a second platform 3, and you're ready to run it through the machine. So there's your die cut piece. Now you want to burnish the score lines again. So the innermost score line is a mountain fold, and the outer one is a valley fold. So mountain fold for the inner one, and the outer one you fold back, which is a valley fold. Okay. Remove the backing tape, back of the Shadow Box. Make sure that's all lined up. And pinch it together. And do the same for this side. And there you've got your box, your Shadow Box, and there's the back, and there's the front. Ooh, I forgot to fill the sky in. Never mind, flatten that, and just gently blend the background in balmy blue. I forgot the sentiment. So let's stamp it here. Pop the die on top of the sentiment over to one side like so. And I'll run it through the die cutting machine and I'll be back. Just snip off the end, leave a little bit, say about half an inch or so it can tuck under the leaf. Now I've just sort of positioned the leaf there to see where it comes to, because I don't want the dimensional to be sticking beyond this scored line here. So take off the backing tape and position this over the sentiment, and we're done. So there's the Shadow Box card using the Grassy Grove bundle and the stylish sketches from Celebration. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial today. Thanks for watching, and do share if you like it and give me a thumbs up. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram, and if you'd like to read more then hop over to my blog. The link is below this video in the show more section together with the supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.